So a woman must consider why this particular man is the best match for her for marriage. We already know he ain't the best match for you for anything else. So that's a big question to consider, and far more knowledge, along with greater maturity among women, is required to make a proper analysis. The condition shows that. Now, how is this knowledge attained and this maturity gained? How important is marriage to the originator of creation? So in this book called Protection, Aid, and Comfort, Insight into the Polygamous Marriage of the Messiah, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, I wrote something to that question. And it states, in the basic sense, the domestic life involves polygamy. Whether a man is married to one or several women, marriage is a divinely mandated institution according to the Holy Quran in the Bible. The unity of a man and a woman in matrimony is designed to enable each person to meet specific obligations that support shared goals and objectives in service to Allah. I'm writing about the ideal because I'm writing about the domestic life of the Messiah, which is the domestic life of Master Farad Muhammad. Continuing, there is no doubt that when the divine purpose of marriage is not considered, nor the divine obligation that each spouse has toward living the life ordered by Allah, the marriage is bound to falter and eventually fail. The success of marriage depends on a sound understanding of marriage as a divine institution and upon our commitment to make the marriage serve Allah's purpose. When either factor is not examined and accepted, there's no real basis for the marriage. Such a marriage does not take root because it is not seated deep enough in Allah's purpose. Now, again, I'm writing about the ideal, ideal. So clearly, women must have some type of vision or expectation for any relationship or in any relationship with a man that they enter. Marriage is the ideal and it is Allah's will. You're not going to get past that. You can say, I don't want to be married. I just want to sleep with this one and that one. Well, that's you. But we got people in our neighborhoods and people in our family, aunts, uncles, maybe, who already trailblazed that. So you won't be the first one being drugged through the ditch with that kind of thinking. But some of us got to get burnt to know that that's a real fire. And that's a damn shame. Because the legacy of that kind of life continues with that kind of senseless thought. And where you get it from? You didn't get it from God. That don't come from God, that kind of thinking. That comes from your mortal enemy. But if you want to think like that, then just go ahead and acknowledge that you got that from Satan. Don't put no spin on it like it's something righteous. So the responsibility is on the woman to keep herself from being misused, abused, and preyed upon by requiring of herself the commitment towards marriage, instead of being the girlfriend, side piece, and chick on the side to numerous men during her short lifetime. Now, we know this is not easy to do, especially in a society that makes merchandise of women, and women go along with it for the most part. Nevertheless, it must be done. It must be done. We got to do that. Why? Why for the woman? Well, men have little motivation to change from the repulsive way that most of them have been made, or us, to think about and to treat women. So many women will find themselves on the road of anguish and deep regret unless they change. You change the way you think about yourself. It is only through the cultural change among women that the bar of decency, respect, and honor for women in this society can be raised. You can't legislate that. It don't matter if President Biden signs 1 million bills. I'm signing into law gender equality. I'm signing into law that we shouldn't abuse women. I'm signing into law. That don't mean nothing. And we gather around these desks and watch these signatures as if something's really going to happen. I just passed an equal justice bill, but there's murder tomorrow, like it was years ago. So the cycle repeats. But those who are contemporaries at that time gain satisfaction. Oh, he just signed a bill for gender equality. Well, what about the culture that produces gender inequality? You're not going to change that? Then the bill ain't worth a damn, and most of them have not been. So they'll wait for the children who are 6 and 7 and 12 to grow up, and then they'll pull the same shenanigans on them after we're dead and gone. So how do women make a complete change? That's a big question. Certainly not coming from the synagogue of Satan. Well, Allah, through his Messiah, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, is leading this change. But accepting this reality requires a mature approach to understanding the presence of the Messiah in the domestic life of the Messiah.